I do like this feud because, for one, it's not Ciampa versus Gargano. It's something different, and that's the one reason I like it. And plus, now you're throwing Velveteen Dream into it with Johnny Gargano. I think they're going to put on a hell of a match. So I'm really looking forward to it.
And I could be mistaken. I'm sure they may have faced each other in tag matches, but this could be their first singles match together. And I honestly thought they would kind of milk this out for a little bit longer, but it looks like they're going to be having this match next week. Of course, we could probably see shenanigans always happen, but we will see what happens next week. Dave, your thoughts?
Well, first off, that it's good to know that so that was a planned spot and he wasn't really injured. So that's good to see because these were like not too long ago after the takeover. But yeah, I mean, it was a nice little start. And this whole investigation thing seems oddly familiar, kind of similar to when Austin got ran down when they were doing all these investigations. Who did it?
Right. I kind of digged it. I liked how they're really making this storyline important. And it kind of helps a little bit with Aleister Black because we touched on it on the show when you had Gargano get inserted into the mix between Aleister and Ciampa. Aleister was definitely set to the side. And yeah, he got that unfortunate injury. And at least they're not forgetting about him because he could have easily just been forgot about, set back, thrown into the middle of the mid card. But no, they're still making him seem important. Looks like they're surrounding the show, still around him, kind of. And very curious to see what's next and see who did actually take out Aleister Black. I know we've been talking about it a lot on the show the last couple of weeks on who do you guys think it is. Justin, you haven't been on the show when we talked about NXT. Who do you think took out Aleister Black?
That's a real good question. I mean, if you go back and look at the footage, you had Gargano out there, you had Lars Sullivan out there, you had the Forgotten Sons out there. There were so many people, and it is interesting to see where they're going to go with the storyline. It's like you said, I think it's pretty cool how they're playing this up. He's going to go to each and every one of them and ask them, did you do this? Did you do this? So I really like that aspect of it. And just, man, I don't know. It could be either one of a lot of people. So it's interesting. I'm not sure who it is right now, to be honest with you.
Now, let me go to you, Dave, because we did see the Forgotten Sons get interviewed last night. And I don't know his name on NXT, so forgive me. I'm going to call him Gunner.
I know that's Chad Lale.
Chad something. I know it's Chad Lale. It was a different name when he came here in San Antonio for NXT.
Yeah.
But he seemed like he's a leader, obviously. He was quiet. He didn't say very much. The other two were mostly talking. And it looked kind of like a Son of Anarchy's type of biker gang kind of stuff. Jackson Ricker. Okay, thank you. Or Riker. Either one. So thank you very much for that. They seem like they could be a corporate of a group that are trying to make a name for themselves that attacked Aleister Black. Now, Dave, if they were to be the ones that attacked him, what would your thoughts be?
I think it'd be interesting because Gunner, I'll call him Gunner because that's what I know him by, but yeah, it was so weird. This is the first, it would be cool to see, I think, just to see him and Aleister Black. I think that'd be really interesting because, I mean, this is the first time we've actually seen him on NXT TV, and he's been there at least a year, if not longer.
Right.
And hey, I'm excited for it. I don't really know about this guy, the people he's with, but to me, I'm glad to see him on NXT finally, and just to see what he does. I haven't seen him wrestle in a long time. So, I mean, you guys have, but I mean, I haven't on TV. So, man, I'm excited to see where they go with this little group. I don't like the fact that the other guy was doing all the talking. I just don't like that. I would like Gunner to be like, maybe they think that's one of his weak points. Maybe that's why. I don't know. Maybe he's the silent assassin. Maybe. But, I mean, I don't know. I just don't like, because he's the guy that everyone knows. At least most people know. And these other guys don't know who they are. So, yeah. And I didn't like he was just sitting back in the background like a bodyguard or something.
Yeah, he was just sitting in the back kind of like he didn't want to be there kind of thing. Like, why the fuck are we getting interviewed?
Like he was annoyed that they were there.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
He should have been the guy sitting right across from William Regal, not some nobody we don't know.
Gunner is better as a silent badass. How was he as a talker on Impact? I wasn't a big Gunner guy on Impact. I will not
I
lie
think
to you guys. I was not that huge on Gunner in Impact. I saw him when we went to NXT for a live event. I think he faced Conor Reeves, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so, yeah.
And he won. And the crowd was behind him. Like, the crowd was really going for him. So maybe something can work with them and the Forgotten Sons. And I know they were supposed to be the next group up after Sanity left. And I believe Lacey Evans was supposed to be inserted into the group as well.
that'd be interesting.
So I'm not sure what they're going to do there, but as much as we griped and bitched and moaned that, once Gargano got inserted into the mix, Aleister Black was pretty much sat to the back seat of the car, and it was Ciampa and Gargano leading the ride. At least they're still keeping him involved. He's not forgotten. He's been on the show, even though he's hurt, or mentioned on the show every week. And he was also a huge part of TakeOver as well. So props to NXT. Maybe they kind of knew they kind of messed up on that.
Yeah. Now you said kind of like a Son of Anarchy type of team of like show, but wouldn't most people consider it more like an Aces and Eights ripoff?
Oh God, I hope not.
I don't think so, but yeah, boy, I mean, you never know.
Because that's what people took Sons of Anarchy from. Like,
of course. And they might get some people saying that they're similar, but I'm not sure. I don't see it yet, but we shall see. Next, we did get Dakota Kai taking on Aaliyah. Something that they did mention about Dakota Kai that they hadn't mentioned in quite some time was about Shayna Baszler, how Dakota Kai has changed a lot since facing Shayna Baszler and their whole feud together. But all in all, the match was okay. It wasn't anything great. Dakota Kai gets the win. She's continuing to look strong. And maybe he gets a title shot somewhere down the line, but you guys have any thoughts on this, Dave or Justin?
I do, but Justin.
I mean, I thought it was, like you said, an okay match. I am kind of high on Dakota Kai. I mean, she's not the best wrestler on the main roster or NXT. I think she can get there, though. But the one thing I do like about her is her finisher. I think her finisher is pretty cool. Or it looks pretty cool anyway.
Sweet finisher. I agree with you. More impressed by Dakota Kai than whatever her name is. Aaliyah, that's her name. And I remember Aaliyah wasn't. God, I forgot what she was a part of.
Breaking Ground.
Was it? And because I remember they did like a whole kind of thing around her.
Yep.
And trying to get her to get in character. And I remember back then there was no way I thought she would ever make it.
Exactly.
My gosh, she did. I don't think she's going to do anything huge in NXT. I think she's just there to take the losses. But we'll find out. But yeah, Dave, what did you get out of this?
Okay, I don't think this pissed a lot of people off. Okay, when I was watching this match last night, I'm sitting there because I was watching some old NXT the other night too, and I was like watching these two, and I'm like, man, you know what? What if these two turn out to be like a Sasha and Bayley? I could see it in both of them. You got kind of Aaliyah, kind of like a Sasha, and then Dakota Kai, kind of like a Bayley look. Both of them. I mean, I was thinking, like, what if, like, 5 or 6 years, these two are kind of like in that same spot?
You must have been sipping on some good stuff because that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen.
I don't know. When you looked at Bayley and Sasha at the beginning, you didn't think they would turn out to be who they are now.
Yeah, but they were actually decent workers. I mean, Aaliyah, she has done nothing for me and proved nothing to me. Dakota Kai is actually a proven wrestler who just doesn't impress me. A lot of people are impressed by Dakota Kai. I'm not one of them. And I haven't heard anything positive. I don't hear people say, oh, I'm an Aaliyah fan.
But I'll be the first one because I like the heel Aaliyah better than I did the face Aaliyah. I like this a lot better.
Okay. And Adam Ball says he could see it. He agrees with you. Okay.
And, that's what changed Sasha Banks' character in NXT too. Because for a long time in NXT, people might not know this, but she was that goody two shoes babyface until she switched and became a heel and became the boss, Sasha Banks.
And she skyrocketed after that.
Maybe that's what Dakota Kai needs. I think Dakota Kai needs something different, a change. But that's you never hear people say there's the Street Profits fans. That's just a lie, man. That's just Dave's mic sounds way better today. Or are you talking about Justin? Because Justin was having the mic issues on Tuesday. It's funny the thing today, Dave was having mic issues. So if he's going in and out, it's because his mic is messing up on his end. So we do apologize for the audio issues for the last couple of days, but we'll be done and better than ever on Saturday night for the watch party, and we'll get more into that later in the show. So next, we did touch a little bit on William Regal. He had he had the Forgotten Sons in there. He also interviewed Nikki Cross, which was
the best part.
Kind of a silly part where she's just going back and forth in the chair and says that she has a secret and all this kind of silly stuff, which then brought in Bianca Belair and said she's been waiting outside all day and they are just in here messing around with Cross. Bianca wants a title shot, and suddenly Nikki Cross perks up and says, I want to play. Regal acknowledges her request, and it looks like we may see Bianca Belair and Nikki Cross maybe next week on NXT. That would be very interesting. That's when we were supposed to have EC3 take on Raul Mendoza, but they show a laid out EC3 in the backstage area, and it was Lars Sullivan who took him out. And that's when we saw Lars Sullivan take his place and took on Raul Mendoza instead. It was a squash match, nothing to talk about there. Yeah, I did notice that, Bob Ruski. I thought that was a little nice touch. But what are your thoughts on this Lars Sullivan and EC3 possible feud coming up? What are your thoughts on this, Justin?
I don't know. I think it can be pretty interesting. I don't know if they have a past in NXT. I don't know if they've ever. I don't think they face each other. Anybody, right? No. See, I didn't think so. So I mean, I think it can be interesting. I don't see where they would go with it, but I guess only time will tell.
Well, the thing is with Lars is that he's upset that EC3 is basically blaming him for the whole Aleister Black attacking because, in a way, Lars has a reason to attack Aleister Black because he broke his jaw and he was in the same kind of area that Aleister Black was. So he's not too fond of EC3 blaming him. What about you, Dave? Your thoughts? And this could be another way of getting EC3 finally a fucking win, a win. And not a legitimate win. He's not like beating, Adam Cole or someone like that, but at least he's going to get a fucking win. Yeah. I could be wrong. Dave, your thoughts?
When I first seen him, okay, where's the Red X at? Where's the Red X at? Okay, wrong show. Sorry, wrong show. But yeah, I mean, I kind of feel bad. I was like, for a minute, I was like, holy shit, Lars is back already? Damn. That wasn't too long ago when he was out, I mean, it was only like, what, a month ago? Maybe
I think it was probably a couple of months ago. I'm not sure how long ago it was to be exact, but I know he was supposed to be out longer than he was.
I mean, I don't know. But you know what? I feel bad for EC3 because he ain't beating Lars. Maybe he will, but Lars is a monster. He's like a beast. I call him freaking Hellboy. I mean, that's what he looks like.
Nobody shall beat Lars. Well, hopefully EC3 will. Hopefully.
I think Lars needs to be, just like EC3 people say, but Lars is just destined for the main roster. I don't know how much longer they're going to keep him there because he's just destined for it, in my opinion. I think a lot of people's opinion.
There's nothing for Lars Sullivan to do on the main roster. If this man's not going to win a title, then why even have him on NXT? Move him up. Get another big man on TV. He would do wonders for SmackDown Live because they don't have a huge monster on SmackDown Live. He'd get lost in the shuffle on Raw. People, don't give me that you want to see him take on Strowman. You want to see him take on Reigns. You want to see him take on this. He'd get lost in the fucking shuffle. He won't even get a match on Raw most likely. And if it was, he'd be beating up fucking jobbers.
Tony, can you imagine if Lars was like the new Heyman guy?
Yeah, but I don't think that could work, man.
I don't know. I mean, I think it could. He could bring him in like he did Brock.
Press 1 in the chat room if you're actually a fan of Lars Sullivan. If you're a fan of Lars Sullivan, press 1 in the chat. If you're not, press 2.
To me, I think he'd have better feuds on SmackDown as well. There's better wrestlers to feud with.
And I think he'd get treated a little bit better, you know? He'd get that more wide of a range of, you know, being able to do his own type of, he wouldn't be so micromanaged on SmackDown Live. On Raw, he would be so managed on what he would do and say. He probably wouldn't even be the same person on Raw. I would love to see him on the big stage because there's matches I would love to see him work. I don't know. With Paul Heyman, I don't know.
Because I just Paul Heyman could add some bars being like his new next big star of Paul Heyman. Because Brock kind of doing his own thing, and you have him manage a guy like Lars and have him attack young tag teams like he did with the Hardys back in the day with Brock. I mean, man, sky's the limit you could do. I think he has the look, and Vince loves the way he looks. You know he does, so he wants him.
He wants him up on the main roster so Roman Reigns can beat him. Come on now, Dave. Jeez, you know that. Next, we had Tommaso Ciampa backstage. Said he made a promise to himself once he returned from injury, he would become the best in NXT. Not only did he crush Gargano, but he won the biggest prize in the industry. He continues that it takes a certain kind of man to crawl to the top of the mountain, but it's another story when he builds a nest and makes it the top his home. He says, this is just the beginning. No one will survive what's coming next. So my question is for you, Dave. What is next for Ciampa? Who will be the next opponent for Tommaso Ciampa?
Wow, that's a great question. I guess if Black comes back, but by that TakeOver special and what is it, Survivor Series, the next one they do, I guess maybe Black. I mean, because what else is there really to do unless they do some big takeover match involving Ciampa and Undisputed Era? I mean, I don't know.
What about you guys in the chat room? Who do you think is next for Ciampa? Guys that have not read spoilers, of course. What do you guys think is next for Tommaso Ciampa, seeming that Gargano is in another feud?
I can honestly see him doing some kind of like tournament to see who the number one contender is.
Yeah, because I mean, from reports, they're saying Aleister Black should probably be back by War Games. Like, he should be back and able to compete. They could go that route where Aleister Black didn't lose the championship. Well, he did lose the championship, but never got his, rematch. They could go that route at War Games. I won't be upset at that. But who's someone else that could step in line and take on Ciampa? It can't be a Cassius Ohno. I know a lot of people would probably say that since of the way he's been being booked, but I just don't see it. I don't know.
Maybe Dream? Who knows?
Who could be the curveball that they throw in that nobody would expect? That's the thing. I don't think it's Keith Lee. I think his time is too. He has some ways to go.
There's always the obvious that people are gonna say. Obviously, I'm sure coming up now, Adam Cole in the chat. But I'm sure that's what some people would say.
Wrestling is a joke. In all caps, too, man. You're upset. You don't like wrestling, man. It's all right. It'll be okay. It's okay. It's all right, my friend. Next, we did get Keith Lee taking on Luke Menzies. He was a former rugby player, so you could tell he was a little bit kind of rusty, or not rusty, but he needs some work, definitely. But he looked all right out there. Keith Lee looked goddamn impressive. Hurricane Rana's powerbomb and everybody around it was nice. It was a good match. Lee gets another win. Hopefully we soon get Keith Lee into a serious feud. But Justin, your thoughts on Keith Lee so far?
Yeah, he's been great. And that Spirit Bomb, holy crap. I mean, how big that guy was, he tossed him in the air like it was nothing. I mean, that was quite impressive. And that Hurricanrana. I mean, he's been good. He's only going to exceed expectations once people start watching him on NXT.
Why did that jobber get an entrance? Because he's a former rugby player, Bob Baruski. Duh. Come on now. Watch the UFC. It's real. I don't understand why you're in here because no one gives a fuck what you're saying. What about you, Dave? Keith Lee so far?
Yeah, he's been good. And I don't think that was considered necessarily a jobber match because the guy got some offense in. Usually jobbers don't get any offense in at all. So, I mean, I
Correct.
thought the match was pretty, it wasn't a Matt classic, no, but I liked it because it was two big boys just pounding at each other, and it was fun. I thought it was a fun
Yeah.
little.
Yeah. And Keith Lee, bask in his glory. He's looking good each week, and very excited to see what his first feud will be against. And exactly, Balruski. For him being that size, and he can do the things he can do, it's just impressive. I know. I mean, I gloat about Brian Cage.
I was just going to mention.
But this, to me, it's got to be a little bit more impressive with Keith Lee doing it because of the size and weight he is.
I don't know.
Brian Cage I know it's
I
hard
mean, dude, seriously. I mean, those moves Brian Cage is, and this isn't to impact yet, but the moves Cage is doing is like jumping, like flying out of the ring like he does. Like, holy shit, his size. That's more.
true. Oh, and Adam Baum, you make a good point in the chat room. He says Keith Lee had 2 matches that really weren't squashes, and his opponents looked good. Yeah, good point. All right, dude, this guy is just asking to get blocked. He's asking for it. So welcome to the block party, and guess what, everybody? No porn bots. We're getting the trolls, but we're getting no porn bots. So I'll take that. They announced that Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch will be returning to NXT in 2 weeks. They announced that the women's champion, Kairi Sane, will be live next week. Also, we got the Johnny Gargano and Velveteen Dream match announced for next week as well. So let's get to the main event, which was Ricochet and Pete Dunne taking on the Undisputed Era. It was originally supposed to be Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly, and but they ended up changing it last minute, kind of switched things up, and put Adam Cole in the match instead of Kyle O'Reilly, kind of catching Ricochet off guard, and Pete Dunne kind of changing their game plan. Thought the tag match was pretty good. It's teasing more Ricochet and Pete Dunne.
I don't know.
Especially at the end of the match where we did see Ricochet diving out of the ring. Undisputed puts Pete Dunne in the way. So that way Ricochet runs into Pete Dunne, and that's when they take advantage of that, and they take out Pete Dunne and end up picking up the win. And also during that match, Pete Dunne was not too happy with Ricochet. I mean, he wasn't really friendly with him, and he really did stare at that title. He gave it the death stare. Like, he wants that North American title, man. He wants that gold around his waist. So we'll go with you first, Justin. Your thoughts on the Adam Cole and Roderick Strong tag match against Ricochet and Pete Dunne, and what are your thoughts on who Ricochet will be going up against next?
Well, first of all, Undisputed Era has the best entrance in the NXT right now. That's one of my favorites, and the match was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. The only thing I don't understand is how come Bobby Fish doesn't go out with them at all. It's like he's not even a part of them, which he is, but
he's still injured.
I guess maybe he can't be on his leg for too long or standing for too long, maybe possibly. But you're gonna have to imagine that somewhere down the line, Bobby Fish is gonna have to get inserted back into the mix. Like, he was the tag team champion. Roderick Strong pretty much is the interim right now as we speak, since Fish is injured. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But after the match, I forgot to mention, they did start attacking Ricochet and Pete Dunne, and that's when we saw the War Raiders come down and pretty much clean the house, the Undisputed Era run off, pretty much continuing the feud between the War Raiders and Undisputed Era, which will probably end up being a tag title match down the line. Dave, your thoughts of the main event?
I thought it was pretty good this time around. And I noticed, we didn't really touch on it, but we said they did win, but it was Adam Cole who got the win over Pete Dunne. Maybe that's the next title Adam Cole wants. It's a UK title now, since he just been the UK champion. So, I mean, that's very interesting right there. And yeah, the match was good, and it was nice to see. And like you said, Bobby Fish come back eventually. Is someone getting kicked out of this group or what? It's going to be interesting. I mean, and it's really going to be fun to see how they play that. And I think Roderick Strong isn't just interim tag champion anymore, just because him and Riley did win the tag titles back themselves against.
Okay, good point. Good point. You got me there. You got me there. Good point.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. And the one guy who seems to be kind of like, I don't know, kind of trying to spotlight all about him is Adam Cole. I could easily see him getting kicked out of the group. And that'd be interesting.
If Adam Cole was to get kicked out, you would expect Roderick Strong to be the new leader, correct?
Oh, yeah, he would have to be.
Or do the Bullet Club way, some of the Bullet Club way, where it's like there's no leader, you know, type thing, where it's just them. But it does seem like when they go out there and they do their pose, and he just holds his hand out and go, Adam Cole, baby, and everyone does it, and it's like it was all about him, not about the group, you know, type thing.
Right. Okay, fair points. I mean, you're making good points on them maybe saying, you know what, fuck you, Adam Cole. It's our time now. And poor Adam kicked out of 2 big stables, right? Yeah. So that is possible. That is a possibility to happen. But you're going to have to expect them to stay a stable a little bit longer, of course, until at least after War Games. So we'll see what.
We'll probably see like the War Raiders teaming with some, maybe Ricochet and Dunn at War Games, you know, to somehow add else to the mix for that whole thing. So yeah, it'd be interesting. And yeah, it was pretty good show, I would say. It was even better without the Street Profits.
Wow.
I can agree with that.
Guess what? When you buy 2K19 this year, everybody will have the opportunity to be the Street Profits because 2K19 made such a great idea and put the Street Profits into WWE 2K19. So I cannot wait to Twitch for everybody and just play nonstop with the Street Profits. I mean,
they just say go with Belair. All I care.
Hey, Tony, I mean, every game needs the jobbers or favorites can beat up.
Oh, God. I just hate it. All right, Justin. Ratings for last night's NXT show. What would you give it?
It was pretty good. I'll give it a 3.5.
Whoa.
All right. Dave?
I'll give it a 2. I thought it was a good show. I've seen better.
Okay, 2. I'll give it a 3. Solid 3. Nothing too great, nothing too bad. It kept me entertained for the most part, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next week because I'm curious to see what Shayna Baszler has to say to Kairi Sane and who else maybe possibly steps up. Maybe Bianca Belair. We got to find out. All right, so let's go to Impact Wrestling. Let me pull it up real quick because I know a lot of people want to talk about Impact Wrestling tonight.
You know what, Tony? Belair is definitely going to win a title before her husband does.
Oh, God, I hope not.
I don't like her that much either. But yeah, I don't like either of them. So I'm saying there.
You're probably right. Let's see. Impact.
So, interesting. So is Bianca Belair like Samson? If you cut her hair, she has no power?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's funny. All right, so we have X Division. X Division. We have Impact Wrestling. The whole show was called Redefined. It was one of their Impact special shows. To go over the card real quick, it was Austin Aries and Killer Cross taking on Eddie Edwards and Moose. We had Brian Cage taking on Phoenix for the X Division Championship. We also had Tessa Blanchard taking on Allie, taking on Real Sue Young. All right, I had set a Twitter handle. Sue Young for the Impact Knockouts Championship. And then we had Rich Swann taking on Petey Williams one-on-one. And then also we had the Smoke Show with Scarlett. All right, so anyways, we had Brian Cage take on Phoenix to open up Impact Wrestling. I was kind of shocked that they went with this match first, but I'm not complaining. This match was pretty damn good. Brian Cage is impressive as always, and I saw Adam Baum put in the chat room, and he makes a good point, and I was one of them who said that didn't really care for Brian Cage not being in the X Division. He's just so big, but they're really spotlighting Brian Cage very well, and it's really being able to show off his talents. The X Division, even though he's not technically an X Division wrestler, it fits his style. The X Division is perfect for Brian Cage. Even though I want to see him elevated though to the main picture, to the main title. But I'm not going to complain when we see matches like this from him and Phoenix and in other matches that he has pulled out. But your thoughts, Justin, on the Brian Cage and Phoenix match where we saw Brian Cage retain his X Division championship?
Now, to go on what you just said about him being in the X Division, I was kind of thinking the same thing. And to me, I know we just talked about WWE, but to me, I think Bobby Lashley should be in the same situation that Brian Cage is in. I mean, if they would put him, I know they won't put him on 205 Live, but if they would put him against people like that, maybe he might do a little bit better. But as far as Brian Cage, yeah, I mean, he's impressing week in and week out as being the X Division champion, and I don't think he's going to lose that title anytime soon. Or I don't see him losing it anytime soon. So.
Okay. What about you, Dave? Your thoughts? I know you were very high on this match on Twitter, so you comment a little bit on it as well. Your thoughts on this match?
Holy shit. This match was freaking awesome. More matches like this. Maybe it's just a lot of us are just Seidel out a little bit. Maybe that's why we didn't really care for Cage and Seidel, but man, the moves these guys are pulling out. When you give Cage opponents like this, yes, this is must see. This should have been the freaking main event, if you ask me. But holy shit, this match is awesome. They went 15 plus minutes. I mean, they killed. I mean, they just killed it. The moves these guys are pulling out, unbelievable. And that finish, that power bomb off the top rope, like holy shit. I mean, man, this match was awesome. And then now he could be interjected in this feud with OVE versus the Lucha Boys or Lucha Brothers.
Yeah, because all right, I'm gonna say my gripe. I'm tired of Callahan and Pentagon, man. I'm tired of this feud. I'm tired of OVE and Pentagon and Phoenix. I'm tired of it. I don't mind the matches, but I'm just tired of the bullshit. I want these guys to move on. It seems like they don't know what they want to do with Pentagon. So there's like, just keep them against OVE for a little bit. Just tired of it. When then I saw Brian Cage come down and get involved, I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe we see a Brian Cage and a Sami Callihan. But would it be for the X Division Championship? That would just be weird to me. But
if they did that, that would elevate that title a little bit too. You have Cage and Callahan feuding for the X Division title, right. And say Callahan actually wins the title. I mean, that would elevate that title even bigger.
Yeah, I don't care for this feud. This is going forever. You would thought that the Mexican street fight was the end of it. Like that was it, no more. You know, Sami Callihan already lost his fucking hair. You already beat him in a Mexican death match. What else is there for them to do? And then they come back and they attack him again tonight, and that's when Brian Cage eventually made the save. So maybe we do see a feud between these six guys, or maybe a possible feud between Sami Callihan and Brian Cage later down. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there.
What was your thoughts?
Go ahead.
What was your thoughts on
the match?
Yeah.
I thought the match was really good. I really enjoy Brian Cage. I can watch him wrestle all the time. He pulls out moves that are pretty amazing that for a guy his size, I'm very surprised that he can pull off. I just want him to go on and to do better and bigger things. And maybe his goal is to make the X Division title a legit championship, you know, and be that second tier title on the card where guys like, you know, Moose or other guys on the card will prefer to go after that title over the world title. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, look at it. It really changed. You got a legit star, legit main eventer as your X Division champion. And so he brings something to that title. He makes the title.
Oh, definitely. After that match, which was kind of funny, and I had to laugh, all right. was the Jericho chants. The
Oh,
Jericho chants after the match made me laugh. Not because I don't think it's gonna happen or nothing like that. It was just the placement of it. It looked like Don Callis kind of like, okay, go. Kind of gave him the signal to go and start chanting Jericho. It wasn't natural, we want Jericho's chants, because there was no reason for them to chant, we want Jericho. There's no reason for them because he wasn't mentioned, he wasn't even advertised or anything like that. For them to just do it randomly kind of gives you like a hint that something's boiling in the pot, that something's coming up in 2019. Because they just wouldn't randomly just do Jericho chants out of nowhere, you know? So I don't mind it. It did look a little bit silly, but hey, why the hell not? Let's go to what would happen next. Sorry, I had to put the website.
Isn't it a flashback you in match?
I don't give a shit about that match.
I think
Which
that
was Grotto taking on Al Snow. I didn't change the channel. I just had it on in the background. I didn't watch it. So
no, I didn't.
Jericho on tour, big time Fozzy. I'm not sure what that meant, but Jericho won't be on there anytime soon. It'll be in 2019.
if at all.
Fucking trolls tonight, bruh. The trolls. After that, we had the Josh Matthews said that little Richie will be okay after being hit by a car.
Oh my
And that's
god.
when we see the OGs and King said the kid had it coming because he was in the war zone. That's when the King got a phone call and told Homicide and Hernandez to not say anything before he left. So that was an interesting little mix to it. And what I thought was he thought this feud was ending. But Impact keep adding layers and layers and layers to this feud to make it a little bit more and more interesting. Yeah, we kind of laughed and made fun of the street fight that they had last week because a little kid got ran over by a car and all that stuff. So yeah, we made some funny remarks to it. But all in all, this feud has been and storyline has been really good. And props to Kingston for doing what he's doing. He's definitely doing a great job on Impact over there. We'll touch on more of this storyline because there was more to it after, later on in the show. Because that's when we got Eli Drake come down, kind of talking about Trevor Lee and Conley, how they lost to two nobodies last week and brought those two nobodies out, which was Mr. Atlantis and Brandon Tidwell. And he pretty much challenged one of them to a match. So Eli Drake took on Brandon Tidwell. Wasn't much of anything, but Eli Drake gets the win. I'm not really sure what the fuck that segment was about. But we'll go with you first, Justin. Your thoughts on this segment?
Pretty much a bathroom break is all it was. I mean, of course he's gonna beat these two. I think he beat them both in probably 30 seconds apiece. So, I mean, that's just all. I guess just to get him over, I guess that's what that was. I don't know.
They were mentioning a surprise in NYC, so there's options like you see Low Key or Amazing Red. We'll see. Low Key, I don't know. Amazing Red, I could see. Eli Drake is the best man on the mic in all of wrestling. Ducks fan for life. Were you friends with Texas Kid for life?
Maybe that is Texas Kid for Life.
No, that's not Texas Kid for life. Ducks fan is actually
What are you drinking?
Ducks fan is only an Impact guy. He does not like WWE. He is not a WWE guy at all. Eli Drake resigns and his booking gets odd, right? Yeah. We got to say it correctly, everybody. Eli Drake. You got to make sure you say the pauses in between. You got to say his name correctly or don't say his name at all. All right? Dave, what did you think of the Eli Drake segment?
I thought it was stupid. And to say that he's the best talker in Impact or in wrestling, that's stupid. I'm sorry. He's not even the Grado is a better talker than he is.
Oh, damn.
All he is a Miz ripoff. That's it.
Damn. Dave went there. Wow. I wouldn't go that far. I mean, Eli Drake has his moments. But the dummy stuff can get a little bit over the yeah. trying to be like Austin, I guess, gets a little bit kind of annoying or a tad bit much. But for the most part, I don't really mind Eli Drake. I'm not gonna come out here and say that he's the best talker in wrestling and puts out 5-star matches, but
Okay,
he does a pretty good job.
I'll say this: when he was the world, some of the lowest ratings Impact's ever had. That's enough right there.
All right, fair point. Next, we had the triple threat match for the Knockouts Championship. We had Su Yung, Ali, and Tessa Blanchard. And yes, folks, we were spoiled with this match about 2 weeks ago, I believe, where TMZ first reported it, and then Impact Wrestling backed it up with Tessa Blanchard winning the Women's Championship. And I don't know if it's just me. I felt nothing towards this match. I had no anticipation. I already came in knowing that Tessa Blanchard was going to win. And that's why I feel like that's why I try to stay away from spoilers and do my best to stay away from anything like that. Because I felt the same way when I would read spoilers on NXT and then go back and then watch the episode. It did nothing for me. I wasn't shocked. I wasn't surprised. I wasn't happy. I wasn't sad. And I felt the same way with this. I just was just sitting there like just waiting for Tessa Blanchard to win, which I shouldn't be like. It should be, I want to see who wins. I want to see how she wins, blah, 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 who is this, blah, blah, blah. But I came in there waiting for Tessa Blanchard to win and hold up the title. The match was all right. Wasn't the greatest. I'm more looking forward to just a Tessa Blanchard and Ali match. Su Yung can leave Impact. I wouldn't care. I want to see Tessa Blanchard versus Ali one-on-one in a match, toe-to-toe. No fucking bridesmaids at ringside or anything like that. I just want to see those two ladies go at it. But we'll go with you, Dave. I know you talked about this match before you went on air, so go ahead.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was without looking, we knew who was going to win, but yes, I went into it just to see the match and watch the match. And I wanted to see how the finish was. And yes, it was a roll-up, screwy finish, but I mean, hey, I thought it was a damn good match and some damn good spots in the match. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well put together, and I don't know. I'm looking forward to what happens next. With obviously her and Ali still going to continue, and I mean, I thought this match and the Phoenix match were my favorite matches because they delivered the two main matches that were focused on tonight's Redefined show. To me, delivered, and they were both really good matches. And the promo she cut after in the back was really good as well too.
Yeah, the promo after the match was really good. I'll give her that. That is 100% sure for sure on that. Excuse me. Why did TMZ report it? I have no idea. I didn't really go into that. I just know that they were the first to report it. And instead of Impact just ignoring it and acting like it didn't happen, they just went with it. I'm sure it was a mixed reaction, but I think between fans of why the fuck would you spoil this? But then again, people are happy that Tessa Blanchard won, so they got a mixed reaction for it. But I think that was more of it that TMZ released it and Impact didn't want to ignore it. You think Impact leaked it to TMZ? I hope not. I hope not.
See, I think someone was there at the and they doing that, and I think that's great.
Maybe Vince leaked it to him. Shit, who knows?
But why does that matter? Like, is that real big TMZ news? Like, Tessa Blanchard won the world title. Do people who go to TMZ.com on a regular basis give a shit about that?
That wasn't why.
I doubt that.
They did it more so because she called her parents, and told them about it, and they were on there. So, there's wrestling fans, I guess, at TMZ, and that's why they released it. Because watch Tessa Blanchard call her father after she won her first one, or major, well, not first, but first big women's title that on a network, I should say,
Right, and I'm not trying to the crap on the match. That's how I felt. I feel like that a lot on a lot of it. I feel like that when we watch Raw UK, the UK Raws. It just sometimes you see a spoiler on accident, you read it or see it, and then when you go to the match, it just doesn't feel the same. That's all. That's how I felt. But yeah, what about you, Justin, you enjoyed the match?
I thought it was okay, and here's the thing for me also. I hate the spoilers as well. For whatever reason, why they leaked it for, I don't know why they did it. But anyways, I go into the same way, whether it's a movie, whether it's, wrestling, and we've seen WWE do it as well before. So, I mean, it just sucks that they do it, and it's hard to not see it, especially when you're getting stuff on your phone from it. But yeah, I went into the match knowing that Tessa was going to win. So it was just like, I'm just watching this, like you said, waiting for it to happen. And the fact that she won with a roll up, it's like, come on, can you at least do your finishing move? I did like in the match how Tessa Blanchard had Ali in the submission, and then Su Young put Tessa Blanchard in the submission.
Yes.
I thought that was a pretty cool spot. And
Yeah.
like Dave said, the promo in the back was pretty nice as well. So I mean, it was a good match for what it was, but we knew it was going to happen, so that kind of took away from it for me.
Hey, I'll say this: I enjoyed this match a hell of a lot better than I did Charlotte and Carmella.
Well, that's kind of with the triple threat or the singles match.
Just the match in general. I'm just saying because to me that match on Tuesday night was terrible, and this match was entertaining and more fun to watch to me. Yes,
yeah, I don't like to go into that debate. Like we always do that on the show. We don't want to do into the debates where we compare other shows to other shows. Let's just say what it was. It was a good women's title match. Tessa Blanchard wins. Congratulations to Tessa Blanchard on winning her first Knockouts Women's Championship. A legit women's wrestler running the women's division. Yeah. So it's going to be what they have it's going to be Ali and her for a little while. You got to assume.
Yeah, but you know what? I would love to see Tessa Blanchard take on Gail Kim for that title. I think that'd be a fun match.
Yeah, they would.
I'm just here waiting for Rosemary to return.
Yeah, Rosemary will be back sooner than later.
Hopefully. I want to see a dude.
Next, we had Gama Singh hunt down the Desi Hit Squad and beat the shit out of him with a broom for disgracing the name. I enjoyed that. That was great because we hadn't seen them get punished for their losses. And finally, when he came in there and beat the shit out of him with the broomstick, I kind of chuckled at that. I thought that was pretty funny. So props to Impact on that. But then we go to the LAX stuff. And LAX is backstage, and they're talking about how they're happy shutting down the OGs and getting their titles back. But they were still upset about Little Richie. And that's when Mr. Conan received a phone call to change their plans. So things are just layering and layering and layering on this Impact storyline between LAX and OGs. Dave, what do you think is next?
You know what? It seems like there's another, like you said, there is another layer, but it seems like there's a boss of both of them. So it seems like we're going to see someone else get revealed, like as the head boss of this whole little gang rivalry between the two. And some people are speculating, what if it's someone like a Vampiro or something like that, or someone from Lucha Underground?
Play my fucking music, Vampiro. Oh, that would be great. We'll see how that is. I mean, I wouldn't mind it too much. They're sort of speaking going to the godfather of the gang, I guess, the guy that runs both sides. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see where they go with this. And like I said a couple of weeks ago, hey, this storyline was very, very good, and it was probably one of the best things going on Impact Wrestling. And they're slowly bringing it back up, bringing more heat to it. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they do next between these two tag teams. You have any thoughts on this, Justin?
Well, only thing I'm going to say, and I might be the only one, is I don't care for this storyline. I don't like either team. Now, I'm not saying I hate the storyline. It's just I don't care for it. It doesn't do anything for me. I'm not a fan of either of these tag teams, at least for right now anyway.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I do like LAX better out of the two, but I'm not a fan of the storyline.
You know, when I see Hernandez, who I think he is, who he looks like, is it Hernandez? Yeah. I swear when I see him, I think of Vin Diesel.
Oh, yeah. I can see the comparison. I can see it. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens next week. They didn't really touch on anything after the phone calls, so maybe they go more in-depth on it next week. because this is a pretty packed show, so they couldn't go probably too in depth on that storyline. So we'll probably see more of it on next week.
You know, I like it. I
What's
think
that?
I like the storyline just because it's something different. You know, it's a
Correct.
different storyline. It's not everything going on. You know, it's not the same old wrestling stuff we're gonna see now. Which Impact is really pushing the line on everything they can, which I love it that they're pushing all these lines.
Bob Aruski in the chat said, "Shit, Hill must froze over if Conan and Vampiro agree to work together in segments." That's
Oh,
true. Adam Baum says low key was in LAX, so he could be the one giving orders to the OGs.
I don't.
oh, that's a good point. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't
Huh.
think they're giving orders to the OGs because Conan got the same phone call, guys. Come on, you got to think about that. And he said, "Yes, sir. LAX don't do anything." And so they're both. It seems like they're going to both be head into some kind of meeting. Hopefully, we see it next week where they're talking to the head boss of both of them. I don't know. So that's what. As long as it's not Disco Inferno, I'm good.
Disco Inferno. It's gonna be Vince Russo. Next we had Grotto brought Katarina and Joe Hendry to the Smoke Show. Joe said he's written some music that will explain everything next week. Then there was some petting from Scarlett to Grotto, and he ran off with Katarina wondering what just happened. Man, hey, Grotto in these segments has been gold. I know a lot of people are not Grotto fans of him, maybe in ring work, but him as a whole, the comedy act, it's working fabulous. The water bottle, the whole 9 yards is probably every wrestling fan who would be in that type of situation sitting next to her. You cannot deny that. You being nervous, fumbling words, just all that type of stuff. Everything that Grotto did reminded me of everything a little of a guy that was intimidated by a woman would do. I thought it was funny. I'm loving these smoke show segments. They brought a lot to Impact in many different ways. But your thoughts, Justin, because I know you're kind of new to this.
Well, I've been watching it the past couple weeks. Well, last week I just saw like small clips of it, but to me, this is leading to a match between Katarina and her. That's how I see it, and I'm honestly surprised Katarina has been with Grotto for so long. I've been waiting up for her to turn on him, honestly. But yeah, I see a match between them two happening pretty quick, pretty soon.
Makes sense because she did get after Scarlett at the end of that, where she said, "Kind of back off, Grotto, or
Stay
back
away
off the
from my
boys."
boys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't really um, belong here. And I don't know if she can wrestle. I heard from Red Sox fan that she's decent. I've heard mixed reviews on her.
Yeah.
Now maybe they kind of do excuse me, a mixed tag match. There you go. That's what I'm trying to say. Between maybe Joe Hendry, Katarina Grotto, and Scarlett, maybe they can go that route. But right now, I'm enjoying these segments. It's very, very entertaining. What about you, Dave?
I mean, yeah, it was interesting because I was shocked when I heard what I heard. I was like, did she really just say that on TV? But yeah,
Yeah,
I was surprised when she said that. But yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is going to lead to a wrestling match or if it's just leading her to be like kind of like a talk show host type thing, which I like how they're doing it. And it's corny, but it's funny, especially when she arrived to the arena and the guy wouldn't let him in, and the smoke disappears and the music starts playing. I mean, to me, I get a kick out of that. That's just funny. But yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
Adam Baum in the chat says Scarlett can wrestle. To spoil something, Katarina and Scarlett had a match on Explosion. Oh, okay. So they have wrestled before. So
you can watch Explosion.
yeah, hey, Adam Baum's a huge Impact fan, so he knows his shit. I'll give it to him.
He's probably. I think all of us are huge WWE fans.
Yeah, I froze for a second. Am I good? If I'm freezing, just back out and come back in. If any freezing happening, come back and leave the show. Come back in, and everything should be perfect. Next, we have Petey Williams taking on Rich Swann. Rich Swann gets the win. Any thoughts on this, guys?
Well, I didn't see this one. I had walked outside for like 5 minutes and I came back in and it was over. So I missed this one.
Okay, what about you, Dave? What did you think of this match?
It was surprisingly.
We did. I don't mean to interrupt you, but we did forget to mention the show this match last week, and the whole Rich Swann segment as well. We forgot to mention that on the show last week, so our apologies.
Yeah,
all you Rich Swann fans out there.
It was surprising. It was surprisingly pretty good match. I mean, and one thing I loved was the interaction backstage with him and Seidel. I mean, when I see this, I'm like, hey, it's Air Boom 2.0.
Yeah, and Matt Seidel looks like he's trying to recruit Rich Swann. I'm not exactly sure why. I don't know if they're going to become a tag team of some sorts, but yeah, it's Matt Seidel. It's recruiting Rich Swann, and I would be okay with Rich Swann versus Matt Seidel.
I mean, he looks just like Kofi Kingston, the same look and everything. You got Air Boom 2.0.
Yeah, I don't know. Rich Swann seems out of place right now on Impact. Didn't really get much of a pop. I know he's facing Canada's favorite, P.D. Williams, but I want to see him more on the show. When was the last time he was on the show? The pay-per-view, right? And after that, he had been on the show for a little bit.
He didn't make the pay-per-view.
He didn't make – oh, that's right. He was hurt. You're absolutely right. He didn't got the concussion. That's correct. That's absolutely right, Dave. Maybe that's why he hasn't been on TV. There you go. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. Making me shut my mouth. All right, so let's go to the main event, and that's when we saw the whole shock of the night, everybody. And that's when Austin Aries and Killer Kross took on Eddie Edwards. Yes, Eddie Edwards, not with Moose, because apparently Moose was taken out backstage.
Or so we think.
By Killer Kross and Austin Aries. But in all reality, it ended up being a scam, a plan all along, everybody. Moose ends up coming back out at the end. Eddie Edwards tags him in. Austin Aries goes to tag Killer Kross, and Killer Kross jumps off the apron. So I'm thinking, okay, Killer Kross is turning on Austin Aries. This makes no fucking sense. Well, they shut me up very quickly because right after that, Moose turns around and spears the shit out of Eddie Edwards. And then after that, attack him and just pretty much beat the shit out of him. Interesting ending. I was very shocked to see that Moose turned heel. I guess it was just that time. I thought he was pretty over as a face, but maybe they don't see him winning the title anytime soon. I could be wrong. But your thoughts, Justin, on the Moose heel turn?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people were shocked about that. I certainly was. I didn't expect that at all. You know, like you said, when Killer Kross jumped off the apron, I was like, okay, like you said, that was interesting. And then we got the spear, and then he got the chair in his hands and started going to town. So I don't know. I don't know why they turned him either. He was pretty over as a face. But, I mean, I guess we'll see where they take him from here. I don't know what's going to happen with him, but I guess we'll see.
Listen, people, we don't mind you coming into the show and chatting with us, but if you're going to be idiots, you're going to get blocked, right? You're going to get blocked. You're just like a fucking porn bot. You're trolling. There's no reason for you to come in here and tell us that you hate the WWE, that you hate Moose, you hate this, you hate that. Then why the fuck are you in here? It makes no sense to come in here and troll somebody so you can get blocked. I don't understand what that does for you. It's just we're getting more trolls than porn bots, and I honestly would rather have the fucking porn bots. Dave, your thoughts?
Yeah, I was surprised everyone else, but I mean, yeah, like you said, turning Moose heel was a shot, and it definitely makes it harder and harder for anyone to get near Austin Aries, and Impact just added another team to their tag division. I mean, holy shit. I mean, this tag division keeps getting better and better. Imagine those two going after the tag titles. I mean, who's going to beat them? I mean, jeez. And you know what else this does? This is probably what they're trying to do anyway, is it helps build up Eddie Edwards even more as a top babyface. It builds him up even more to overcome the odds type thing. If they are going that route, which I assume that's what they would do while they attacked him like that. He's going to be like, it seems like Eddie Edwards, which since it's not going to be Moose now, but it seems like Edwards is now the top his top rival on Impact right now. So that's why they took him out. And it's very interesting to see, like Adam Baum just said, will they bring back Davey Richards and maybe reform the Wolves to take on these guys? I highly doubt it because I think he's done. But you never know. They always say never say never. But I just think Richards is done wrestling. So I don't know who they would bring in to help him besides Tommy Dreamer.
These people are fucking idiots. Yeah. Now, what is the story with Davey Richards? Is he retired? Is he done? Because I thought he was retired.
He's an ambulance.
So would he? That is very. That's a good question. Could he come back for a one night only, Bound for Glory? Maybe. Hey, it's going to be the Wolves returning for one night, taking on Killer Cross and Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley.
Bobby Lashley.
And Moose. I could get behind that. That could be pretty good.
Yeah.
I would enjoy that.
And he could do double duty. He could put a medic there for him too.
Yeah, so are you excited about the heel turn, Dave? Is this what Moose needed?
I don't think it's what he needed because he was already super over as a baby. He was probably their most baby face. Then you turn him heel, which it's like they're trying to make Eddie Edwards their top baby face right now.
Yeah, it was just odd. Like
it was weird, yeah.
Yeah, and especially when he was the beginning of the show when they were talking to them, it was like you want to call him Bobby Lashley. It was Moose, talking about how Austin Aries gave him a concussion and how he was contemplating about retiring and doing all this crap. And then you have him just purring on Eddie Edwards for really no reason. I'm sure next week we'll find out why, but it just really turned on him for no reason. So we'll see what happens next week.
Go
ahead.
I find this next week or like why did Moose do this? Now Austin Aries has two of the biggest guys watching his back. I mean, if Cage ever goes after this title, this is going to be an interesting road.
Yeah, maybe he has to, man. Then that would be great if he had to go through those guys to.
That would be
to face them. Hey, if you're never gonna go away, that's fine, man. Just hit the follow button. Go ahead and share on Periscope, share on Twitter. We appreciate that. We're Get the Tables podcast. We're live every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and on Sundays, but we will be live on Saturday night for a special all-in watch party. I'm gonna get to that right after Impact Wrestling. So everybody, ratings for Impact Wrestling. We'll go with you first, Justin. Your rating for tonight's Impact.
I'll give it a 3. I mean, it wasn't the best and it wasn't the worst, so it was pretty much in between. I'll give it a 3.
Okay, Dave?
I'll give it a 4. I really enjoyed tonight. I mean, that first match just killed it for me. That was a 4.
Okay, I'm going to give it a 3.5. 3.5. A very entertaining show. Some things I didn't like, but for the most part, I really do think it was a really good show, and it has me guessing on what's happening next week. So that's always a good show. If you have to get you more interested in next week's show. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. Like we have been talking about it on the show recently, that All In has a show on Saturday night. And we were going to be doing a watch party. And it looks like the watch party will still be going on, everybody. I was able to order the pay-per-view on Spectrum. So I'll be able to be on the iPad. I will be able to be on the computer, and I would be able to be on my TV with no issues, no buffering issues, and everything going good. So this is how we're going to do it. All In starts at 6 o'clock, 7 Eastern. What channel on Spectrum? I do not know. I can't remember the pay-per-view channel on Spectrum. It's like 6 something. Just Google it, Blissside. And it's $34 on pay-per-view. $34. That's not bad. I think it's the same price it is on the Fight App TV. Also, if you want to buy the whole StarCast, it's like $134. But you can only get that on the Fight App. Seeing what you get for that offer, it's pretty worth it. I mean, you get a lot of shit for that $149. It's not like you just, get nothing, but you get a lot for that. 40 on the fight, but yeah. I don't know if DirecTV is going to carry it. I'm not seeing it on the guide. Then yeah, you're gonna have to probably do Fight App, which is gonna be $30. So this is how it's gonna go. Obviously, you all know I have a little baby girl. She's 1 year old. So we can do one or two things. I can do the whole show, 6 to 10 o'clock. Then right after that, we do the post show. But I'm probably going to have to be muted quite a bit for that first maybe hour or two of the show, because the baby will probably be yelling and playing and doing all that type of stuff. Not sure if you guys want to hear that interrupting the all-in show. Also, second, we can do this, and I can go live in the middle of the show. At about 8, 9 Eastern, I'll pop in on Twitch. I will pop in on YouTube, and I will pop in on, not on Periscope, but on Twitch and on YouTube. That's where the watch parties are going to be handled at. So if you haven't already, go follow me on Twitch. It's Tony210. The O in Tony is a 0. All right. Or you can follow us on YouTube at Get the Tables Podcast on YouTube. That's where the watch parties will be happening. You'll be able to hear the live audio. There will hopefully be no issues on either end. And you'll be able to listen, not watch, of course, listen and get our live reactions. And then right after that, we'll do a post show. You guys can call in. We'll do all that shenanigans. I have not used the Get the Tables Twitch account yet, only because a lot of you guys already followed the other one. So I might as well just use that one for now. And then once we get more, the computer stuff handled, then I'll do the Get the Tables Twitch account going. Moose turned on Eddie Edwards. That's how he turned heel. I'll download. There you go. Download the app. Get us on there, YouTube, Twitch, and we'll be doing the live watch party. Justin might be joining us. I know Alex will be joining us. Dave will be joining us. Not sure who else. Maybe I'll try to get maybe a call in from Brandon after. We'll try to do some things to make some just an enjoyable, entertaining show. So hope everybody can join us Saturday night for the watch party itself and then the post show afterwards. Everybody who won the giveaway, Juanito and Bobaruski, I will be sending your stuff out next Monday. So,
well, you won't.
No, I won't. Oh yeah, next Tuesday, I will be sending out your stuff, and hopefully you get those by the weekend or next week. Again, I do appreciate you guys' support and those super hearts and the donations on the Patreon. Yeah, we have a Patreon, Get the Tables Podcast on Patreon. Check it out. Feel like you want to donate and support the show. It's a $1 tier. There's a $5 tier. And you can just jump on there. If not, you can drop the super hearts on Periscope or just join us and share the broadcast and do all that great shit. So let's jump into 3 matches that I want to predict for All In. Because a lot of these matches for All In, for the most part, are just, matches that they just brought together. We don't really have any backstory behind them. And a lot of these you may or may not be interested in. So let's just go over the matches one more time. Let me get the matches up. We have Nick Aldis taking on Cody Rhodes for the NWA World Championship. We have Okada taking Marty Scurll. Janela taking on Hangman Page. Rey Mysterio, Phoenix, and Bandito taking on the Golden Elite. Christopher Daniels taking on Stephen Amell. The Briscoe Brothers taking on SoCal Uncensored. Over budget battle royal. 15 people battle to determine the number 1 contender for the ROH Championship. Then we got the 4-way match between Tessa Blanchard, Chelsea Green, Britt Baker, and Madison Rayne. This guy is just a fucking idiot. And then we have Jay Lethal taking on the over budget battle royal winner. And then last but not least, we have Kenny Omega taking on Pentagon Jr. Let's go through a couple of matches real quick. Dave, Nick Aldis, Cody Rhodes, who do you got?
I'm really pulling for Cody Rhodes in that. I want to win that title.
Cody Rhodes, you are hoping wins the championship. What about you, Justin?
I don't know. I can see Nick Aldis winning, so that's what I think he's going to take it. He's going to retain.
For the history and all that behind it, it would be nice to be Cody Rhodes. To get that history, to get that moment, something that his dad did. It would be a nice family moment for Cody. And in retrospect, he deserves it. Like, he brought this All In shit together, him and the Young Bucks. Without him, this All In shit wouldn't be happening. So why not? Or do we see a dusty finish and Aldis gets the win? It's going to be an interesting match, and they've built up this storyline very, very well. We have the Rey Mysterio, Phoenix, and Bandito taking on the Golden Elite match. Dave, you excited for this match?
I mean, I'm sure it'll be good. The ones I'm super looking forward to, it'll be great.
It is the main event of All In as well, everybody. So if you haven't already known, it's the Golden Elite taking on Rey Mysterio, Phoenix, and Bandito. That is the main event of All In. I know you're interested in this match, Dave. Who do you got? Stephen Amell taking on Christopher Daniels.
Oh, it's a celebrity taking on a wrestler, so I'm going to say the celebrity wins because Christopher Daniels will get some publicity online too about it. So I'm going to say ML.
Okay. Maybe Cody helps.
Maybe Neville helps.
Oh, well.
Maybe.
All right. We'll go with the main. Well, I would say the main event. Kenny Omega taking on Pentagon Jr. I don't think these guys have ever faced each other. I could be wrong. But this match, I am very, very looking forward to. This match, other than probably Aldis and Rhodes, is my match of the night that I'm most anticipating, most excited for, I mean, if I had to pick one match to watch on the whole card, it would be this one. Dave, who do you got winning?
Was this Omega and Pentagon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you right there. This is the match I'm most looking forward to. And I don't think it's ever happened. Man, Impact versus New Japan right here. I mean, man, I don't know. It's a tough one. I guess you would say Kenny. I don't know, though. Because it's a Bullet Club show, so you never know if they're just going to go over every single match, you know? So, that's tough. I'm going to swear I'll say Pentagon, but he probably won't win.
Thanks for the share, Ed. And you got to think, man, Omega, Pentagon in his matches, he doesn't hold back. He's a very stiff worker for the most part with those super kicks and stuff like that. So, like Bob Ruski said in the chat room, I hope Omega is healed. So, because, yeah, against Pentagon, you need to be 100%. What about you, Justin? Who do you got?
Yeah, I mean, this match, I went back and forth on, honestly. I mean, you can't really lose with either guy. But I myself, I would love to have Pentagon win. So, I mean, this is just such a huge, high-profile match for both guys. And like I said, I want Pentagon to win.
Yeah, and for Impact Wrestling, too. I mean, just imagine a Pentagon, an Impact Wrestling, and Lucha Underground star, yes. But he's been most recently seen on both. But you know, Impact, he's been on there lately, so that'd be a huge win for some guy from Impact beating the IWGP World Champion.
For sure.
Doesn't New Japan have an American date soon? Yes. I don't remember when, but I do know that they have another date. I think it's the Omega and Ibushi match, right? It's in America?
I know they're having a match in September. I know that. I know Alex would know the exact date. But Bob Ruski might, too.
Bob Ruski was the one that just asked it, so he's the one questioning. 25 plus 100 views tonight. Thank you everybody for the viewage tonight. Very, very appreciative. But I like what Bliss Side said. Green arrow and the red arrow working together. How about that? I like that. That was funny. So all right, what do we have? What's a better chance of happening, Dave? CM Punk cameo appearance on camera or Neville in attendance?
Neville.
It's sad that we can't even say that CM Punk will just go up there and say hello. And I saw that he's doing a 9-hour signing.
That's crazy.
And a lot of people are like, yeah, like he's so invested in his friends. And you look at him, he's doing 9 hours. You do realize he's getting paid. Not only the fee that you have to pay to get the autograph, to meet him, he's also getting paid on top of that probably every hour he's there. So
I'm sure.
He's getting paid very well. So I'm sure he ain't complaining at all about a 9-hour signing, that he just has to sit there and fake a smile every now and then. And I was listening to Speeds in the Benchmark, and he made a good point. If All In was in, say, California or in Texas or in the middle of Timbuktu, I don't think Punk would be on the show.
Oh, hell no.
I think it just happens to be in Chicago. It just happens to be in CM Punk's home state, and it's just more convenient that way.
Yeah, he's
Do we
gonna
see
get
AJ Lee there?
he's gonna get a big payday too. So that's one reason he's doing it. I mean, he ain't winning fights for sure.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see if we see a Neville appearance, if we see a CM Punk, and you know what? It's going to be even better, everybody. You'll get to see our live reactions during that watch podcast. So it's going to be very, very fun. So, yeah, Cody did offer a contract to Punk. Yep, I saw that. He offered him a thing on All In, and Punk declined it. So we'll see. Neville in the crowd, not ring. Also, we'll see the Neville with the glasses and the ponytail, him sitting there looking all serious like the NXT, the gift that's going around. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Saturday night, I'm very looking forward to, very excited for. I'm interested to see how the show goes. So remember, everybody, there's going to be it's a 5-hour show altogether because there's going to be an hour-long pre-show. And then on top of that, then they go into the show at 6 o'clock, 7 Eastern. So I hope you guys are ready.
There's a pre-show on the pay-per-view podcast.
No, it's not on the pay-per-view. It's on the Fight app. You can watch the pre-show on the Fight app.
And I think it's on WGN as well.
Yeah, it's on WGN. So if you ordered it on your cable provider, it will not be on. I don't believe. I could be wrong, but you have to watch it on WGN. But if you order it on Fight app, you can watch the pre-show on the Fight app. I know that. So. Yeah, get your popcorn and drinks ready, everybody. It's going to be a fun night. I hope everybody can join us. I'd be kind of upset if we had like 2 people come and join us for the watch party. So I hope if you're at home and available and want to watch wrestling with us, hop on Saturday night. I'm not sure when we're going to be on. It'll probably be either in the beginning, obviously, or in the middle of the show. I'll make sure it's not like in the middle of a match or anything.
Oh yeah, Honor Club.
Yeah, Honor Club. It's on Honor Club as well. So you have different options to check it out on.
Yeah. And also, if you miss the All In show, they did announce that it will be available on. And if you have New Japan World, it will be available on there as well in the coming days or weeks afterwards.
Oh yeah, see that? Yeah, Daniel Price. In the YouTube chat rooms, I mean, he's just saying it as it is. If you can make it through 5 hours of bullshit soap opera from WWE who consider wrestling a dirty word, you can sit through 5 hours of legit wrestling.
Yeah.
Amen, brother. I mean, I can't decline you on that. I mean, yes, we will tweet before we go live. That will be an app. You know what else I'll do? I'll tweet before we go live, and I'll even go on Periscope and announce that we're about to go live on Twitch and on YouTube. We're going to be doing this watch party. I would do it on Periscope, but I don't know their fucking rules and shit, and I don't want to get risk of being banned because that would be devastating. That would be devastating. So I'd rather take the safe precaution and just go on Twitch and on YouTube. That way y'all can just hear it. Y'all don't know what the fuck's going on. Y'all can't see it, obviously. Only if what you're watching on your television or whatever you guys watch it on. So we do hope you guys come in here on Saturday night. Well, you're not showing it. You're doing commentary over it for the most part. But Bobaruski, it's just better to be safe than sorry. We worked so fucking hard on this Periscope account. We got it to almost 1,000 followers. We have the gold badge. All that shit. I'd rather be safe than sorry. But Bliss side, what I might do is if y'all haven't already, go to the Get the Tables Periscope app, a profile. We have a Get the Tables Periscope profile. If you follow us there, I might do a private scope like Bliss was saying and maybe show a little bit of it. Who knows? We'll see. But follow us at the Get to Tables Periscope app. If not, we'll do the watch party live on Twitch, live on YouTube. Should be fun. Fun show tonight. Over 2,600 viewers tonight. Wow. Amazing. Definitely made up for our Sunday show where we only had a little bit over 300. Tuesday night, we had over the usual 1,000, and tonight we kicked ass, and we had a bunch of people come into the show tonight. And a lot of it was because of you guys sharing and tweeting out the broadcast. Thank you so very much. Hearts are mainly the thing that gets people caught. Yeah, that is very true. You're absolutely right. Almost, yeah. Where would you rather rewatch? Oof, good question. That's a good question. I would say possibly. I heard the audio on YouTube is the best way to go. That's what I've been hearing. That the YouTube audio that we have is great. So definitely go check that out. Yeah, we have more trolls tonight, but no porn bots, everybody. How about that? No porn bots. So definitely awesome for that. And yeah, so we'll be live on Saturday, everybody. So I hope you guys are ready. No show on Sunday. I'll say that one more time. There will be no show on Sunday, but we will be on live on Saturday night. If we get a lot of people on Twitch, you get an affiliate thing. I would love for people to get us affiliated on Twitch. That would be great. That would be fantastic. I mean, you don't understand how great that would be.
Tony, I know you're doing it on your personal Twitch account, but hey, people go follow the Get the Tables Twitch too, and we can start doing more on there.
Yeah, I'm gonna eventually bring that one up. But a lot of people, we already have a nice little following over there on the other one. So once I get the other one established, we'll be going live a lot more. So
I know that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and follow us on Twitch too. Sometimes I play games. I was playing The Walking Dead the other night, and Jeffrey Cross was in there. I mean, even we had a cameo appearance from the Red Sox, man. So I do Twitch every now and then. Some Walking Dead. It was fun. Hope you guys Fortnite too sometimes as well. Loop it around like a little message from the. What is this guy talking about? Daniel Price. Yeah, he does live. He comes into the show every now and then on Twitch. 50 followers go live 7 different days, I believe, and I gets at least 3 viewers per show. We just gonna have to hit it hard on Twitch, and that's what we're gonna start doing more. We're gonna go on more on Twitch eventually. I just got to get a better setup first. You guys know the thing. You've heard it before. So I think that's about it. We'll be live on Saturday night. I'll give you guys a for sure time of when and all that good stuff on Twitter and on Periscope. Let's do a quick little shout out before we end tonight's show. Thank you, Alice, Adam Downs, always Bliss Side. Thank you for joining. Bob Aruski, MASH fan. Who else is in here? We got Primal Work One. We have Brock's No More Champ. We have Jello, Peck and Rod. We had Iowa Neck in here. Who else was in here? Jody Mania. We had Spees. We had Anthony Ducks. We had Jeffrey Cross. We had Dr. Huge. We had everybody and their mama come in tonight. So we do appreciate very, very much for the support. If you're new to the show, I really do hope you hit that follow button. We're so close to 1,000 followers, man. And that's a huge accomplishment in my eyes. So if we can hit 1,000 followers, man, by October, that would be very, very great. I would really appreciate that. So share the product, share it on Twitter, share it on Periscope, tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your sister. Let's get some more people in here and interacting with us every night. It's very, very fun chilling and talking with all of you each week. Justin, any last words until Saturday night's show?
No, everybody just have a good Friday tomorrow. That's about it.
Yes, everybody have a fantastic Friday. It's the end of the work week for a lot of people, payday for a lot of people as well. So you guys have a great Friday and kick works ass. Dave, anything else?
Yeah, enjoy some college football before All In. I know I will be tomorrow night.
Yeah, so yeah, college football is back, everybody. So if you're a football fiend, it is back and better than ever. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for everybody who was joining us on the YouTube. We had 3 solid viewers tonight. So thank you guys for that as well. Over 2,700 viewers tonight. Much love, y'all. Much love. We'll be back on Saturday night. It's going to be a great show. First ever watch party, so I hope it's not a fail. I'm a little bit worried, but I think we'll be okay. You guys have a great Friday. Like I said, have a great Saturday leading up to All In. Get y'all's rest ready. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on the YouTube. You guys have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you Saturday night, everybody. Thanks, everyone.